I think we're live, Granny.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello. It's a bit before the 250 subscribers, isn't it?
It is. Hang on. What's going on with my phone?
You need to turn your YouTube mute off.
Yeah, I did.
Jeez, this is why I can't work with
I
old
thought
people.
I'd put it on mute, and I hadn't turned it on mute at all.
Yeah, okay. So how many people we got in the chat? I can't tell. We got two people, so we're pumping. I think we got Blake and you, Granny.
Wow, cooking with gas.
Oh no, look at us go. So welcome, Blake. Thank you for coming.
So yeah, it's a bit strange that you can't see how many people are in, isn't it?
You can at the top left. So basically it's coming from, I don't know if it's on your screen, but I can see it on mine.
Oh, I can't see it on mine.
So we've got three people watching, which is good. Which is three more than we were expecting, to tell you the truth.
Yes.
I think we're four of those people as well.
Mm.
So our first accountability live. It's pumping with the three people in the room at the moment. But for those watching back on the live, so what the purpose of this is, it's more of a listing session. So yeah, you're more than welcome to take photos and watch in the background and all those different things. But what we really want is for you guys, and we've put the StreamYard link into the chat, is for you guys to jump in and tell us what your plans and what your aspirations are. And yes, Grady will take notes. So what the plan is actually for you to tell me what you're planning to do for the next 7 days. And in theory, depending on how these shows are received, is to basically you come back in that following week and let me know if you've done it or not. Obviously, my demeanor towards you will be obviously favorable or less than favorable if you haven't achieved. But that's pretty much what we're going to be doing for hopefully the next 58 and a half minutes. What about you, Granny? What's your thoughts?
Oh, well, I think it'll be good. Or do you want my report of what I'm going to do?
Oh, I think you can tell us what you're going to do.
Okay. So, yeah, my aim at the moment is to be listing 10 live a day listings and put 5 in my draft bank because I've got a few things coming up so that I've got stuff that'll go live then. And plus, if I'm listing stuff like skirts, I don't want to be listing skirts, all my 10 to be skirts. I want them spread out. So if I take photos of 10 skirts, I want to schedule them 2 a day type thing. So that's my big main aim and keep my sales going.
Yeah, and that's something that I don't think we touched on in the algorithm episode that we did. If you do list heavily in one category, all your traffic seems to go into that one. So like you said, that you probably want to split it up, which is good.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
I think we better say hello to the 3 people in the chat.
Better, yes.
Yes. So I don't know who this handsome person is, but
oh, jeez,
I don't know. But
basically,
yeah, well, that's right. That's exactly right. That's all we come here for.
I hope you're fully hydrated today.
I am actually. It's slightly cooler here in the Bermuda Triangle, and nicer weather this time of year, so it's starting to cool down. So what else we've got? We've got Blake, the life of a reseller. I don't know. That profile picture looks awfully familiar. What do you think, Freddie? Does he look familiar?
Yeah. Very familiar. Yes. I think we might have seen him before.
Yeah, I don't know why. You might have to catch up on the last episode, I think.
He actually
we might just have to rewatch it ourselves.
And he actually looks very much like one of the other big YouTubers too.
Yeah, okay. Well, big's debatable, but
yeah.
if you look really hard on his profile picture, it looks like he's got some pretty bad facial hair. But I don't know, maybe that's just my painted on eyes that think that.
Okay, yeah, I can't tell in his profile picture or whether it's grown since.
Nenny Yan Grogan.
Yeah, that's my alias.
Oh, is it? Oh. Couldn't have picked that. So welcome, boys and girls. I hope you have report cards ready to tell the octopus. And that's correct. Yeah. So basically, like we said before, feel free to jump in the link. It's in the chat. And come on and let us know what you're planning on doing for the next 12 months. 12 months. You can tell us for the 12 months. I'm more than happy to scream at you for 12 months.
Yeah. Have you pinned that to the top of the chat, or is it just in the chat?
It's just in the chat, but I don't know if I can pin it. I don't know. See, this is what accountability is about. Maybe I should have practiced this before today. Right. I'll make sure I tell myself later.
Okay.
Should I be scared? Well, yes, we've run out of Chupa Chups, so you should be very scared. That's the StreamYard link. Make sure you click on that, and it will come through to the green room, and we can go from there. Geez, Blake likes the sound of his own typing by the sounds of it. We better set a wrap before the end of this live, Brittany. Well, she's got a wrapping hat on. So
got my hat on. I got requested.
Mm.
Yes, I got requested to wear the hat, so I did.
That was Snoop Dogg, wasn't it, that requested it?
Yes, it was. Yes,
yeah.
Pretty sure.
Or the Australian version, Stray Dog. I'll let you try and pronounce that, Granny.
Accountability.
That's right.
That sounds like a line from a rap song, doesn't it? Accountability.
Well, we have our first victim in the live chat. I actually set up something that actually alerts me to something, so I can actually see. Hang on, we'll bring them in right now. Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Who's that?
Oh, John, look at him, and he's got his little mohawk and everything. Look.
Oh, look! It's like looking into a mirror.
Twins, whoa, isn't it? They're twins.
Oh, look at that! Look at that! I don't know who's the more handsome one. To tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Oh, they've both got plush in the background and a Lego, I think.
Yes.
Look at him go! Look at his dances.
He must be playing the granny rap in the background.
That's the only logical explanation.
I'm literally just.
Thank God you got pants on.
I figured I'd just cave and join you guys.
Yeah.
Chat's boring. But I'll try not to be too much of a distraction. I'll just, I'll let the octopus judge. The octopus will judge as the octopus.
I know. I was about to say, I do like that folding there, John. It's very crisp.
So, John, let me ask you while I'm looking at that's just A4 paper?
Yeah.
Why do you not use these?
Because they're
labels?
Can you make international labels sticky?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Well, I buy the 4 up, which has got 4 labels to a sheet. So they work for the Australia Post labels, but then with the international ones, there's 2, so I just join them together. But you can actually buy the 2 up stickers, so then you wouldn't have to, because if that's all you print out on there, you could use the 2 up labels.
I know why. It's because I've recently gotten stuff sent back because they want it to be in removable separate sheets. Like I think Hungary, I got a parcel sent back from Hungary, one from Bulgaria, where after doing some digging, they don't tell you the reason, but then when you finally ask Australia Post and they go ask Hungary Post, they were like, because we couldn't see the customs copy, and essentially they wanted it to be 2 copies separate, like the way you would the old school customs, right?
Yeah.
But it's super frustrating because it's like it's like an admin memo comes through the Hungary office, and then there's no mention of it to the rest of the world, and then we essentially have to send it to them, and then for them to kind of go, yeah, we don't really like that anymore, but we haven't bothered to tell the rest of you, so now we're just going to send it back, and you guys go figure it out. And the way we figure it out is we go through the Australia Post channel, and then they do the 30-day thing to go to the Hungary channel, and you're like, this is so inefficient. So essentially, I've just decided, as things pertain to the rest of the world, I will treat it as if nobody has updated, and we're sending everything to a third world country.
Yeah. Well, because funnily enough, like with all the places I've sent to, I haven't had anything returned for that reason. And I've been using as I said, the 4 up, and I stick the 2 together. For the
I also feel with international, there's a lot of luck involved. Like everybody in Australia commenting on international essentially is just saying, here are a bunch of anecdotes, make of it what you will. It's like, take this thing and it will help you cure cancer. And all of us just kind of curate all these stories of, I would eat garlic with lemon, with ginger, with a couple of random leaves that I find on the tree, and hope that it cures cancer. It feels like that with international shipping. You know what I mean? Yeah.
As long as it's not death cap mushrooms, you should be fine.
Yeah. What was the go there? Jeez.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a bit sus, even for an octopus. Hang on, we got another person wanting to come in. Oh,
but I do like what you said about Granny, with the printing sheet. I feel like a lot of people don't know about that middle ground. They go from paper to labels, and they don't understand that there is that sticker in the middle that you can just print with a normal printer. Yeah.
Hello, Blake.
Hey guys, how are you?
Blake.
Good.
Hello. Yeah, it's too hard to keep going and typing and stuff while I'm trying to do stuff. So.
I do need to jump
just work
to
together.
Retro Ranger, so I don't want to neglect that. Hello, Retro Ranger. Hope you're well. Yes,
Hey, Retro.
I didn't realize that Drew was on at the same time, even though I watch him weekly. So I'm going to put it out to the group chat, and also, obviously post live chat just to see what time works. Grumpy Granny and I, we film our video at 12 o'clock for the podcast, so we just thought we would do like an accountability hour leading into that. But yeah, obviously we don't want to step on Drew's toes, so we're more than happy to work around that if people want that. But that's not to say that what Drew talks about is quite niche and quite high level, which what I personally quite enjoy. That doesn't necessarily mean that casual resellers, I suppose, for lack of a better term, mightn't be into that. So kind of choose your own adventure. Let us know how you go, and we'll obviously accommodate what we can.
Yeah.
You guys won't get enough viewers to take over from him anyway. It's all right.
No, that's right. we'll carve our own little subsection out and declare war on him. Hey, Riley, how you going?
We'll just call this session the triple shot.
That's right. The quadruple shot. Yeah. Yes, but
I'll just have a shot of my Pepsi Max while I'm going.
Yes. He's rubbing it in there, Blake. How are you been?
Hey. Oh yeah, good. Good enough. Yeah, just plodding along.
I've heard that you had a run-in with Diary of a Flipper. Was it today or yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday. Yeah, we got chatting in Savers for ages. So yeah, no, it's good. Yeah.
Place to be by the sounds of it.
Every time I go to Melbourne, I see someone I know. So it's weird, and they're usually all from Ballarat. So yeah, the place to go.
There's a high concentration of resellers in Melbourne on YouTube. I think it seems that every second person's either from Melbourne or the Gold Coast.
Pretty much, yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
There's no other resellers on YouTube from Donald except me.
Yeah, I was about to say,
You're the only one that lives there, aren't you, Granny?
Yeah. No. Well, there's probably about 10 other people in the town.
All fighting for the op shop in there. Do you have an op shop there or a thrift store?
Yeah, we do have one. We used to have two, but one which was open when I first started, but it closed down about 9 months or so after I started, and which was sad for me in a way, but then good for me because they needed to get rid of all the stuff, and I helped them by taking it.
So is there I suppose overabundance of stuff there that you could potentially put a flyer on the wall saying that if you want to donate stuff, donate it to me?
Yeah, no, it's hard to explain. When you're in a small country town, it's not like down in Melbourne where if you could put flyers around the area and the people that are getting them or put them in mailboxes, you don't know them. But because you personally know the people, it's kind of like considered a bit crass to do something like that, like say, come and donate to me. That being said, I have had a few friends of mine when I've told them what I've done, and they've said, I'll give you this. And one, for example, was a friend that was renovating their house, and it was a 1950s, classic 1950s. And she brought me around a box of light fittings, and two of them, one I sold for $180 and one I sold for $110, the smaller one. And there's still some out there that I need to do something with. But yeah, that does tend to happen. People will give me stuff.
Oh, that's good.
Which is good.
Yeah. Well, what's been happening since we last seen you, Blake? Feels like an eternity.
Yeah. What, like a week? Not a lot really. Just listing basically. That's all I've been doing.
I kind of feel like I've just been talking to you because I've been cutting videos of you up and posting them everywhere and pictures of you with your long lost father and stuff.
Oh, that was funny. That was just crazy. Yeah. When he said that to me, I had a double take as well. I was like, what the hell? Yeah. It's funny. At least he's keeping his hair though.
I was going to say, if you want to know, you want to know what you look like in 20 years, mate, just watch the Auction Professor's channel.
Yeah, I know. That was weird. It's funny too. Like, I'll watch him.
Blake, do this.
Yeah. I might have to. Except it'll probably start back here.
Yeah, well,
I'll share the rights.
I was going to say, it looks like it's all the fashion at the moment.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, but yeah. What about you, John? What do you got planned for the next week, mate?
Like I was saying, I'm still figuring out the energy level for Tuesday through to Friday, because I tried taking naps on the Wednesday and the Friday to kind of recover from the live streams, and then I realized the naps actually weren't working. I was getting groggy afterwards, and then I started playing basketball on the Wednesday morning immediately after. So I had 4 hours of sleep, wake up, do like an hour to 2 hour workout, and I found that gets the blood pumping, and then by Wednesday, for the rest of Wednesday, I'm actually productive. So that's pretty much it. It's all a bit of a what's the word, like a test tube, chemistry experiment. What mix goes together to give you the best compound, right? But it's like I love it so much that I don't want to quit the live streams either. And for those of you guys who are seeing this, who are on my live streams, if you're not, it's not going anywhere. I enjoy it too much, and I think a lot of people are enjoying them as well. So it's about figuring out, if that's the constant, what else needs to kind of shuffle around to make it happen. Business wise, it's pretty much just pack every 2 days. It's boring, actually. It's very boring. The one challenge I have with YouTube is I don't know what to share with people, because everything is just it's like asking a chicken farmer to say, like, tell us something interesting about yourself. I sell chooks, and then I sell eggs. It's just, it feels that way a lot of the time. So it's business as usual, and figuring out how to manage the energy and consistency of it all.
What time does your live stream normally finish?
2 a.m.
Oh, is that a set time, or is it slide?
None of you guys go.
I was just going to ask you, like, by 2 a.m, like, generally, how many people have you still got in there?
The record we've had at the 2 a.m. mark was 15 people, believe it or not.
Wow.
Is that because of international?
No. Like the common culprits, like Jody doesn't sleep. Recommerce Dave doesn't sleep. Tom doesn't go to bed. Tom apparently wakes up later in the morning when he does do these live streams. Goes to 2 a.m. But it's like people still talk about important things at 1 a.m. You know what I mean? Like the chat. Like there were a couple of sessions where we were discussing, inventory management. We were discussing what was it? I think someone asked a question about how do you source with ads, and then Paul Laurie has like he puts an ad out, people to come and drop stuff off at his place, like alt tech and whatnot, and that happened at 1 a.m. So I guess it's that whole, if you leave the chat open long enough, sometimes you'll get a lot of good discussion at the front and just like listening towards the end with some little bits of chat. Sometimes you get there and it's like, especially on Thursday tends to be like that because people have already kind of gotten all that energy out on the Tuesday. So when they get back on Thursday, it's like, all right, let's get some listing done, and we're just doing listing. Then suddenly there's the like, hey, by the way, does anybody do this? And then that's that long conversation from 12 o'clock onwards, kind of thing.
You lose track of time when you're with other people too. Like you just do your stuff, and then it's 2 a.m. before you know it, sort of thing. So
right. Or an hour and a half podcast.
I don't even check the time until I get hungry. It's like, oh, I'm getting hungry now, and that tells me it's probably around that 12:30, 1 o'clock mark.
So, well, I haven't persevered with you for that long, but what do you normally eat at midnight?
It's box continental soup, it's chips, it's ham and cheese toasties. We haven't done instant noodles yet, but I think there's some murmuring that people want to hear more slurping on the ASMR and aspect of the video. So,
well, I don't know about slurping, but you do need
the after-hour freaks come out.
Yeah, you do need food that makes noises, but I'm not sure about the slurping part.
I mean, there's all these games you can do with a live stream. The one I was thinking about was you slurp noodles, and then you make people take bets on how many droplets of soup make it onto a camera. So you put the camera close enough that the slurps get onto the actual lens, and then you just count the dots together by the end of the session.
Okay.
So obviously, Blake, that sounds like a serial killer convention to me. But I don't know, mate. Like, do you find that it's easy to get people, motivated?
Whenever we go off track, let's say we're talking when the timer's on for the half hour and we're doing talking, and someone happens to talk and then I talk back. There's a sense that I thought this was meant to be a quiet session, and so I think if you hold the structure enough, people come and go, and when they leave, they go, I've done what I need to do. I'm happy that I intended to be here for 2 hours of the 5, and then I did what I needed to do for the 2 hours. I might hang around for another 20 minutes and then I'll go. And so I think the fact that people are going, I'm here to do this, I've now done this, or I've taken photos this morning, I'm now out of photos. It kind of gives you a sense of, okay, so there are people here actually, you know, with like real intention to use it as like a dedicated focus time.
Yeah.
And then you have disruptors.
Yes, like a certain royalty that turns up. And...
I've learned my lesson, because the biggest trouble is usually if I'm a bit late and I go in, I'll say hello, and everyone else see me there, and they'll start all, hello, and you've got to answer them. So I thought to myself afterwards, what I should do is just lurk without actually going in the chat until the buzzer goes off, and then go in.
Well, just and I guess if you just kind of it's interesting, isn't it? You are a bit of a celebrity, Granny. It's the moment you turn up, everyone goes, ah!
Yeah, they do. And then I feel like I have to answer them. So then I'm not doing my listing either. So, yeah. I mean, not that I was listing on the last one, because I was really just wanting you to watch the video. But you didn't. I should have said to you, put the mic up so that the video was playing and I could hear your reaction, but you had your bloody mic on mute.
Oh, it's because the mic connects to the computer, and it's like I can't do both at the same time. And so essentially I probably should have watched it on my phone, and then I would have made so next time if you do one of those videos, tell me to watch it on my phone. And then it's so hard with streams, because this phone's obviously the camera for that's on the side, and then I've got the other phone that's acting as a timer, so I've got to kind of take that off and watch it on that phone instead. It's figure out what to do with what. You know?
You need a Chris Furlong setup, mate. Yeah, that guy's got 19 cameras going on.
And I think eventually when you get to that consistency, you do want to be able to show different angles and stuff. Which actually I think goes to show, right, when you watch all these YouTube videos that are like recorded and edited and put up, like Mel's videos, or like Towards You Thrifters, it's a lot of moving of cameras. They don't have 19 cameras. You know what I mean? Just constantly moving, start, and you guys know when you guys record, there's that sense of you never get the first take right. So therefore it's you set up and then get back into the mood again. The engine's warm, say what you need to say. Move it around. Get the engine warm, say what you need to say. It's a pretty you have to appreciate the effort. I think that's what I'm trying to get at.
I'll let you know a little secret. We get it right the first time. We lie. We've actually had to re-record two because I screwed up.
Oh, wow.
And look, I have to say, I've been keeping my bloopers, because I'm going to release a blooper reel, because if I stuff up, I keep recording and I'll say it again. But there's been a couple of times I've been trying to say something and I know what I want to say, but it's not coming out right. And, so, and every time in between, I'll do something like I'll go, oh, or I'll go, blah, 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 make strange noises so that I know that's the in between, just to lose it up. And I've got, yeah.
I think I was talking.
Before I cut you off, mate, this question's directed at you, Blake, so that's why I cut you off.
Okay.
So I watched your last video, mate. I've got some concerns about your editing, because I see a couple of people disappearing behind your car. They walk halfway across and they just disappear.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, cuts. Yeah. I think I was talking to you the other day about it, Granny, about how you'll sit there. You'll be like, all right, I've got 8 minutes worth of footage, and then you'll have this 40-minute clip you got to edit down and cut down, and it's like I've said the same thing 4 or 5 times, and it just doesn't come out right. And but the final video is 6, 7, 8 minutes long, but you've been sitting there for God knows how long trying to actually do it.
Yeah. And
how long do you
that's
edit
the trouble.
Not that long. It depends on what videos they are, really. My ones where I actually go out sourcing and stuff like that, they're probably about 2 hours, maybe 2-3 hours. But the ones where it's just a talking, educational kind of just talk about a subject kind of thing, that's only probably less than an hour, really. But the ones that take the longest is when I have to put bloody comps up on the screen or something like that to show what the item is, how much it's worth, and that. And by my last video, even I got that wrong. I was putting up Carhartt comps for me bloody R.M. Williams stuff, because I had them sitting there. And I put them in the wrong order, and it's just, but I just left it in. And I'm like, People will get the idea. Like, it doesn't matter that much. Right?
Yeah, it's I find that I can have, I think one day I had an hour and a half video and I was trying to cut it down to 10 minutes, and and then when I do the instructional ones on what you do on eBay, and I'm recording what I'm doing on the computer, they're the worst ones, because I'll be doing it, but then I'll see something else. I'll go, now when you do this is what can happen. Then I'll go off in a whole different tangent and explain it. And so I've got all this footage of that, but like, you need to cut it down to the very basic level for people. So I have to cut all of that out.
That's the thing too. When you know sort of what you're talking about, and you know what you're trying to show, you sort of you know what it is. So you go on, say all this different stuff, but then like you realize that the audience doesn't know what you're probably on about half the time. So it's like you got to cut all that out sort of to make it sort of make sense to everyone.
So what about you, John? How long does it take for you to edit?
John loves editing.
Like okay, so like the one I just did last night, that took I reckon about half hour to edit that one.
That's good.
That wasn't too bad. Yeah, because it's just getting rid of all the. So I stutter naturally, which I don't like, and it's something I need to work on. And it's like I guess it's a eternal work in progress, right?
I'd probably start on your haircut, but yeah, stuttering's good.
But that those ones. So just cutting out those little bits of stuttering to kind of make the video shorter. Otherwise, YouTube viewers are very impatient when it comes to pauses that are not intentional. Yeah. And so if the video doesn't flow, it's just like you see the retention just drop.
Yeah.
Especially on a video like yesterday where you want them to get to the end result of figuring out what the toy was.
Yes.
And with all the little segments in between as well. Yeah, it's I'm quite quick at recording all the segments that I need to put it all together. And I think I've learned not to ramble in the long side. I've learned that if you do the 8-hour thing and you have to cut and find the clip, it's a lot of work. Because every live stream that we do, the next day I'm literally scrubbing through it to all the talking bits and writing down like a little note for myself saying, from this time to this time I talk about this topic, turn it into a video. From this time to this time I talk about this topic, turn it into a video. But you still have to sit there, So like a 5-hour live stream, it's still an hours worth of scrubbing and note taking before you even get to the editing side of it. And so therefore, every video that you edit literally needs to be half-hour max. Otherwise, it's just too much time spent on it.
Yeah. Have you had a look ever at Opus clips?
I have, but I'm also very fussy, Granny. I wish I wasn't this fussy. I'm a creative, and I want everything to be within my control. I'll let it go. I think as with all endeavors, we start off wanting to do everything, right? And then eventually you go, good enough. But for now, I feel like I can't do good enough just yet. I don't want to. Yeah. Not can't, wrong word. I don't want to.
Yeah.
It's part of growing too.
I've had a couple of goes at it, but I've run out of my free trial now. But yeah, I found it quite interesting because the things that I perhaps might have chosen weren't necessarily the things that it picked up. It picked up different things.
Okay.
Which I thought was interesting. But it also then gave me some thoughts on those. But I don't use their edits. I then go and edit our video because for some reason it doesn't recognize Octo as a human.
What?
Yeah, so every time
I guess but it makes sense though if it doesn't recognize Octo as a human.
So when
what about John Z Reseller? Does it recognize that?
Yeah, no, I don't think he recognized him either. So when it's going through the when it produces what it does in the end, I'm sitting there listening to him talk because there's no picture of Octo because it doesn't recognize him.
That's funny.
I don't know whether to be hurt or impressed.
So yeah, then I have to go back and cut it and edit but then I realized stupidly last night when I was doing one at Silly Hour, I suddenly had the thought, why are you doing this? You just need the one piece of footage of Octo and you can just keep inserting that same piece of footage because it's not like you can see his mouth move.
Yeah,
so I can just do the same piece of footage over and over again and not have to keep cutting that bit of footage.
That's funny.
That'll save me heaps of time.
What editing software do you guys all use?
I do it on my phone.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because I if I don't do it on my phone, I over edit. I get like I can waste so much time on Canva, and because I've realized that for myself, I'm like, nah, I just gotta use Splice. It's basic. It's just cutting and timing and speed and volume, and that's about it. I don't want to too much. I can't do too much. If I do too much, then you just too much time. Not that it's not valuable, but it's just balancing, right?
Yeah.
You gotta.
Yeah. I use Filmora.
That's what I use as well. I use Filmora
Okay.
11. They've got the reason I ask
12 now.
Yeah, right. Look out, upgrade. The reason I ask is because the I know that my Filmora, it has the silence detection thing as well. So like if I muck up something every now and then, I'll just stop and then I'll just run it through that quickly and it'll cut out all my silences. And then I'll have just all those cut clips there that I could just delete what ones I don't want, which speeds things up a lot as well.
It
but it does muck up too.
Oh, look, it does, but I actually found out this week when I was doing some, you can actually go into it and tell it where you want it to cut, because it was cutting off some of my S's a lot of times. And because I didn't know that to start with, that it would do that. So I was just letting it cut it out. But then if you go in, I can't remember how you do it, but yeah, if you actually go into it, you can actually tell it, well, that area that you've cut out, no, I still want that in. Or I want you to cut that bit off, and that works really, really well.
Yeah, it just saves a lot of that manual going through, having to cut off all the, all the little bits and stuff. But yeah, there's a lot that goes into making videos and stuff that, like, it doesn't look like much at the end, but there is a lot of hours and stuff that goes in, brain power, I guess, to try to make.
How do you think our podcast goes, Granny? Do you reckon that looks edited?
Oh, no, I don't think it looks edited, no.
That's good, because it takes me about 3.5 seconds to do. All I do is I just slide the timer to start at 8 seconds, and that's as far as editing as I do.
Yeah. But I think that's I think that's what I like about it in a way, because it's real. Then it's us chatting like as we would be chatting. It's not edited. So it's, it is as if we were doing it live. And it gives me such scope then when I want to go in and hack it up.
There's a good place for like raw footage and stuff like that. Like with conversations and podcasts and stuff, it's really good to have just a raw thing. There's no misinterpretation of the conversation. It's just it is what it is, sort of thing.
Yeah, no, that's right. Like I personally, I wouldn't even know where to start with editing, to tell you the truth. That's why I don't do it. So I bought the Filmora, software package just for that, for that slice of the 8 seconds down.
Yeah.
But like once I look at doing different things, there's possibly another YouTube channel coming out, probably in spring. So that will be edited. So I need to start playing around with the software just to get that sorted. So,
so is that all you're going to tell us?
Sorry.
Is that all you're going to tell us?
It is at this time. It's a bit of a teaser. I've worked out the format, but I haven't worked out how I'm going to execute it yet.
The octopus meeting videos.
It's a bit about child exploitation. I'll leave it at that. See how many backpacks I can get.
Right.
I was really hoping that it would be octopus meeting videos.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting. Like I said, I'm gonna wait till the warmer weather kicks in, and the Bermuda Triangle's a bit more photogenic. So I think that's gonna be a bit of the appeal for the channel as well. So
interesting.
That's funny. I don't know how you guys come up with half the stuff you do.
It's off the cuff, let me tell you.
9 brains, mate. 9 brains. I think we must have like some form of ADHD undiagnosed as well, because things just pop in our heads as we go.
You're wrong. You are wrong, because mine is diagnosed. So
Give credit where credit is due, Octo.
Yes, that's right. Yes, she is a bit psychotic. Oh, we've got another person like in the chat. Hello, Matilda.
Hello, Matilda.
Hi, Matilda.
Oh, Matilda, would you like to report what you want to do? Oh, we got more now.
Okay.
Yes. You'll have to correct me if I'm wrong. Is it Helo's World? I was in the process of responding to your comment on our last video. But yeah, obviously this live got in the way, but welcome. You know, it's good. I've watched a few of your videos.
Good to see you.
Yeah, so I think I was watching the one about your Halloween. I think you had a Halloween. I don't know if it was a short or otherwise, but yeah, I'm quite into Halloween if you haven't already worked it out. So welcome. Oh, John's disappeared again. Like you look like you're so organised behind you, John. I've got like rambles going on.
Poor old SpongeBob's up there.
I did say I would not join and I would just be in the chat because I had parcels to pack. But I'm like, no, I'll just join, but I'll get packing done somehow still.
Well, that's right. Well, that's exactly. You're providing the background noise and the ASMR. So
yeah. Well, I mean, the least you could do though is actually turn SpongeBob around, so he's like not lying on his side, squashed in there, isn't it?
Oh, I'm more worried about what the Lego head's doing personally.
Oh, Matilda,
that's
you can. This is an accountability live stream. If you would like to, you can give Octo a report of what your goals for the coming week is, and then come back next week and let him growl at you if you haven't done them.
I'm a bit of a bully, apparently, so you're more than welcome to. Yeah, you can put it in the chat if you like, or you can do it on that. It was my pleasure. Like I said, I love Halloween, so I'm ready. I watched it yesterday, so my memory is a bit hazy, but I'm pretty sure it was arts and crafts and little key rings and little trinkets and stuff. But yeah, no, it's definitely I quite enjoyed it. Do more Halloween stuff.
Hi, Quindle's Den.
Everyone's coming in now.
I know. It's pumping.
Yeah, good.
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
Well, typical accountability group. Everyone's coming late.
Well, that's right. That's exactly right. Well, I'm not too sure. Well, Blake was here at the start, but I'm not too sure if you heard John. But we had some technical difficulties at the start because I duplicated the videos. I didn't realize that StreamYard was going to create its own video. So I sent a link out maybe close to 4 or 5 days ago when Granny and I, or brackets Granny, came up with this idea.
You blame me for everything.
Came up like slant. Told me I have to do this.
It's a great idea. I think you've got anytime there's a chance for people to come together in an industry where people usually don't come together, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Hi, Dave.
Regan wants Dave. Hello.
Another one of my night owls.
If anyone wants to pop in, they're more than welcome. That goes for you too, Helo's World. Like you could come in and correct me because I don't know if it's hello or Helo's.
I was going to say hellos.
Yeah. Well, these eyes might be painted on, but I can see there's no 2 L's there. So.
Yeah, but I'm stupid. I remember the first day of year 12 in school, we had a thing where we were all going around reading a book and we had to speak out in front of the class, and I was all nervous because I hated public speaking, and I'm actually really quite shy. And the first sentence of the book was bowl overarm, like as in cricket. But I was there in front of everyone, and I've just gone bowl overarm, and everyone just pissed themselves laughing at me. I felt so stupid. Like
and Legend says he hasn't gotten over it either because he's sitting in a dark room.
I'm not meaning to. It's actually quite bright. It's just the thing on my camera's going weird.
We have our first international guest today.
Helo's American.
Hey?
Helo's American.
Is he? I didn't realise that. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no. Hello, Georgie. How are you? I think you're in Bold's live. Were you on James's live from memory?
He was, yes.
Yes, I think. Yes, but look, SpongeBob's moved around. I didn't even see him do that. Bring it on.
Okay. Here's
I'm having some Blake issues now.
I'm just going to write it down. So 10 items.
Very good. 50 items for next
live
Thursday.
Tonight. 50 items listed. Okay. I'm writing it down, Matilda.
That's all right. I think we need some sort of extrinsic value for obviously for people to follow through with their suggestions of what their accountability issues.
Get a chop.
That's right. Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. We'll just get tight and we'll send you 30 cents for a chop. Yeah.
Wait, 30 cents for a Chupa Chup, as in, here's money to go buy a Chupa Chup back in 1999. Go build the time.
Oh no. So I'm factoring in inflation, John. So basically, I don't expect you to pay for the Chupa Chup. It's just 30 cents for obviously to try and phone when you get pulled over by the police. I think a phone call is probably even more than 30 cents these days.
Probably.
Nothing's only 30 cents now.
No, that's right. Well, even the 30-cent ice cream cones from McDonald's have gone up to $1 or something.
But isn't it so fun when you tell your kids things like, "Oh, I used to pay 50 cents for a dim sum," and they go, "What? It was $1.10 at the pool." Yeah, the pool cafe is probably overpriced. 90 cents probably where it's at, but 50 cents what it used to be. And then, Granny, you probably remember, I don't know, 5-cent dim sums?
So my little story
shillings back in her day.
Yeah, when I went to primary school, I went to a little Catholic school, and they didn't have a tuck shop or anything like that. So, but every Friday we could actually walk down the main street of Donald and buy our lunch. And I used to get 20 cents. And for 20 cents, you could buy a pie and a drink. Or if you were really clever, you didn't buy a pie. You went to the fish and chip shop and you bought chips, and then you bought your drink. And if you went to Nancarrow's, they had cans of Zing, which didn't have a ring pull, so they were really cheap. So you could buy the chips and get the can of drink, and then you had about 9 cents left for lollies. And back then, you used to get 4 or 5 lollies for 1 cent. So that was a big bag of lollies. Wow. But the only thing was, because the cans of soft drink didn't have a ring pull, we had to get them open somehow. So we would take them back to school. Octo, stop your rot. And take them back to school. And on the corner of the drink fountain was a very sharp corner. So we would actually get them and slam them down on that, and it would spurt everywhere. And then you'd have to cover it up and stick it in your mouth and just... Yep.
Nice.
So
don't the Americans just slam it on their heads and then just kind of...
Yeah.
So I don't. This is my theory, Blake. I don't think she's ADHD. I think she's just still coming off the sugar high from the 1970s.
Yeah, I reckon if you're doing that sort of thing, I'd say. It's funny. Since you're talking about money and how it's changed over the years and stuff, I remember last year I was looking into it. My pa, years and years and years ago, he bought an old house down in Port Melbourne. It was just a smaller, crappy old house back when Port Melbourne was an absolute dump and that sort of thing. Back then, he bought it for, I think it was $28,000, and it sold last year for $2.2 million.
Wow.
Whoa.
It's just weird, how much it's changed, the suburbs and that have all just gone weird, and it's just,
Everybody, Blake, you're not married yet. You're not married yet, are you?
No, I'm not.
All right, so everybody, Blake, on the internet, Blake's not married yet. Therefore, you know that there's an inheritance somewhere down the line that you could potentially benefit from if you think that Blake's an eligible bachelor and you'd like to fight his best for rights to claim this wonderful kingdom of wealth. You heard it here. That's sort of Disgruntled Octopus.
I think he has a significant other, though, all the same.
That's all right. We can kidnap her as well. I'm rubbing my tentacles together in anticipation of its inheritance. Donuts, goodness. Yes, there's still donuts on donuts, so we've got 0 donuts.
Yeah.
So
0 donuts.
The house didn't sell. He didn't sell the house. He sold it back when it was years and years old. It's just someone else. Unfortunately, our family doesn't get the $2.2 million. But...
No, that's always the way it plays. Yeah, when I grew up, my grandparents lived directly across from Newcastle Beach, so I would hate to see what that property is valued at now. So
ridiculous.
Pretty much, there was across the road was a paddock that maybe 100 meters, 200 meters across, and directly to the beach. Yep, it was phenomenal.
Yeah, that would be worth a good sum.
So 5 listings tonight, Georgie. That's pretty good. I don't know what time it's in the UK at the moment. Work night shift. Oh, you used to work night shift, didn't you, Blake? Watching a couple of your videos.
Yeah, I did. I worked night shift for 2 years, I think it was. They classed it as afternoon shift, but it was 4 p.m. till sort of 3:30 a.m. So it's night time. But that's just so I didn't have to pay us the full extra 30% loading for that amount of time.
The penalties, yeah.
Yeah, so it was still all right. We got an extra 15%, but it was still,
Our friend Sandra does the same thing. She works at night and she takes her listings in with her photos in, and does her listing at work.
I think there's someone on your live, John. Isn't that Josh G? Normally shift work at night as well.
Josh G. I don't recall the name.
Yeah, Josh Gibb.
I don't think he comes often enough.
Yeah, he's probably working night shift, mate.
You see, I remember Puppy Dog Diary, Avalon. I remember Matilda because they're quite regular, they're consistent, they persist through the night. I do remember a Josh, but then again, there are also several other Joshes who do.
I was about to say it could have been a hairy tornado, mate.
Yeah, I was trying to bait. Because I was actually trying to bait you one night to get you to ask what Josh did for a living because he kept on disappearing at night time, and you made a comment about working at this time of the night or something, and but you didn't. You didn't take my bait. No, because do you know what he does for a living?
I need closure. I need to know what this guy does.
I don't know what Josh G does. I guess he needs to turn up to tonight's live to give me the chance to ask him. So Josh, if you are watching, lurking in the chat wherever you may be, come join the live and let us know what you do for a living.
Let's take that. Somebody does. I reckon he's a gigolo.
You're almost right, but not quite.
Okay.
So I think Josh needs to know that the nighttime is the most competitive and therefore rates are lower. He could consider tapping into the daytime market, those who like doing it in the sunlight, in which case he would have less competition, could probably make a premium.
No, well,
that's applying eBay principles.
Is that talking from personal experience, John?
I was going to say, you seem to have a lot of knowledge.
Yeah.
Well, Chris is a CL for long.
Hang on, we're dragging him into it now.
No, we were always saying that we love reselling because it's a great way to learn all these business principles in really bite-sized chunks, and then you like people think that once you do eBay, there's nowhere else you can go, but actually I feel like once you do eBay, you can go anywhere because you see everything. You see supply and demand, you see time management, you see when you take market share, when you defend market share, you see red water versus blue water as far as competition goes. You see all of that, and I think I'm just like super excited. I like that even for people who do reselling, not knowing if this is going to be the long-term thing, it's a great like training course, more or less.
You learn a lot of skills. I can't remember who said it, but you're an accountant, you're a person that works in logistics, you're a marketing rep, you're all this sort of different stuff. So you learn a lot of skills from doing it.
Yeah,
it's actually helped me to. Oh, sorry, no, you guys go.
No, you're right. You go, John.
It's actually helped me to, I guess, change the advice that I would give to my kids when they finally ask me what I should do for a living. Because I just tell them, like, if you don't know what you want to do for a living, go get a job somewhere where you are able to see the flow of money. Because I think like there are so many businesses that you can work for that you don't see the flow of money. Like even if you get a job in a big consulting company or in the military or whatever, you don't see the flow of money. You see your part that makes money come into the business, but you don't actually see how it starts and ends. And I think there's so many jobs that a young, young adult can do if they don't know what to do for a career, where they can actually see, all right, product is made, moves to this part of the business, money comes in, goes back to that part of the business, some money goes to the owner, some money stays here and pays me. And that those percentages start to be more visual. And
so
then
as a drug cartel.
The only thing is with reselling, I think there's two types of resellers. I think there's the resellers that they don't actually go into the business side of thing. They just buy stuff and they list it and sell it, and they don't. Yeah, they do the very basics that they have to do to get by, but they don't delve into it and they don't understand the platform that they're selling on. And then there's, ones like myself, and I just want to know everything.
Well, that's like when I was talking on the last podcast sort of thing. Like that's why I do so many tests and stuff to sort of just try and understand as much as you can, because that's going to give you an advantage over pretty much 95% of the other sellers on eBay. Being able to actually understand the platform.
Yeah, I'm having a bit of an interesting thing happening at the moment because I've still got stock of handbags and shoes that I'm getting rid of. And so I've been running a new auction every day, and I've been changing up. Like I'll put up a 1 day one, and then the next day I'll put up a 2 day one, and then and so on. And since I started doing that, and even though, look, some things aren't selling, some things have sold for 99 cents, other things have sold for good money. But the overall thing is, since I've been doing that, instead of my graph going like this, my graph's going like this. And, you know.
And you're clearing space.
Absolutely, I am. Yes.
Which is valuable. Like, you might only sell for 99 cents, but that space is probably worth more than that too.
Yeah, see, my biggest problem would be with that stuff to get rid of it is I would think to myself, oh, look, I'll just hang on to it because I'll have a garage sale one day, or, you know, I'm going to do something. I'm going to make a bulk listing and sell it all, you know. So putting it up for auction each day is actually helping me finish it and delist it. And then what hasn't sold, it goes into a box because there is a whole town garage sale in September, and I'm going to put it in there, and then what's not sold in there, those boxes are going straight to an op shop.
Yep.
So what we're taking away from this is that we're going to do a road trip to Donald.
I was just about to say that. I might pop up.
Cause havoc.
Yeah. Yeah.
The AI descriptions are crap.
I think someone like a very handsome octopus and, you know, his portly old grandmother did a video about AIs. What do you think, Granny?
Yes, I think it has its place, and I like the idea of it helping fill out some of those item specifics, even though it gets half of them wrong. But I don't like it doing the description.
No one reads them anyway, but it's just like it tends to oversell what the item is. It's like, you know, it goes through and it's like, this is an amazing thing that does this, and this. It's like, it's a pair of pants. Like, it's,
Well, they are
amazing. It will cure
keep you out of jail.
Guarantee your ticket to heaven.
But yeah, no, that's exactly right. And I haven't really looked that much into it since we spoke about it a couple of weeks ago. But is eBay going to be on the hook for INADs and all these different things that the AI is generating and saying what this product is? Like, you know, what Blake was saying is that, you know, if it's fantastic and it's phenomenal and it can, you know, cure all these diseases, and it rocks up and it's a pair of jeans with a hole in it. There's obviously eBay's going to throw it back on the seller and say, hey, look, you're supposed to proofread this before it moves on. But I kind of think it's a bit of a redundant, you know, where they could be reinvesting the money into other parts of the business, like, you know, cough, you know, get people to pay for offers straight away, like they've been promising for the last 3 years.
Exactly.
And instead of this, you know, this chat GPT or, you know, AI generated description that's, you know,
all they're trying to do is capitalize on the trend. That's how.
That's exactly right. So, but you know, according to the American YouTubers that I watch as well, is they're looking at bringing out live auctions, to combat whatnot and all these different things. Yeah, that's disappeared by the wayside. I haven't heard any more of that discussion. So they're basically investing, you know, marketing dollars into doing research and, you know, obviously, you know, bringing up all these things enough to, you know, to discuss it and, you know, talk from there. But there's no follow through. It's just, wasted resources.
Yeah. And you look, you know, it'll be something that it'll be an add-on, any bet, if it became a full-blown thing that you have to pay for, because that's what they seem to be doing at the moment, is the push is to get you to do things that are going to earn them, the business, more money.
Well, that's exactly right. Well, I'm not too sure if any of the other platforms have been trying to use, you know, ChatGPT and AI into their listings. I don't know if Amazon's doing it, but they're trying to be market leaders in that respect. But the thing is, though, I personally would like to see, you know, international shipping rolled out here and in a bigger scale. The global shipping program.
Global shipping, that would be good.
Use your resources in developing markets, like, you know, because I don't think eBay New Zealand exists, or if anything, you can probably set your resources up from that perspective. But it's a waste of money from my perspective, put it that way.
Yeah.
One
and
thing
I think,
too,
I've had a bit of fun with it, just asking it stupid questions, and, you know, I have asked it a few times to give us a script for, you know, doing a YouTube video, and like, George is quite right. Like it just comes out this big long, you know, and so then you have to go back and say, oh, can you, you know, cut that down for me? I just want a very short one. And then, it answers you and it does it all, and you get some good information out of it. But I wouldn't want it to be putting my listings in.
It's great for ideas.
That's
Yes,
right.
I agree.
And Helo's bringing a good point up here, right? That I think they're investing in it to monetize it. So this will be a system later on. There'll be like a little checkbox that says, have the Chat GPT write your description for 10 cents. So you click that and it will promulgate all the different things. Just to corner that lazy market, I suppose, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be like, get people invested in it, using it and thinking, this is really good. It writes the genes description for me, like elaborates and uses a lot of fancy big words that I can't use and go from there. But I definitely do think, 6 months will be paying for it. So.
Yeah. The easiest way to get around it though is like you've got your templates. Like I barely ever touch my descriptions. I just copy. The only thing I do put in there on the top line is I copy my condition overview and put that in as a first line thing, just as a second base point to say, hey, look, this is wrong with it. But like just do your templates and stuff. And once you got your items listed and stuff, you can do your self similar, you can do your templates. You don't ever touch your description anyway. Like you don't need to pay for AI.
Yeah, and if you don't know how to use templates or custom templates, go and watch one of Grumpy Granny's videos. And hello, Emma Ellie Mum from America. We've got a new visitor.
Oh, okay. Sorry, apologies, I didn't see it. Emma Ellie Mum. Okay, yeah. Well, this is my skeleton room. So that room belongs to an Emma as well. So
there you go.
I don't know if he's got the same the same scary setup that my daughter does, but there you go. Hello and welcome. You're almost at the end of it, unfortunately. We got 3.5 minutes to go before we kick these gentlemen out and throw everyone out of the chat.
That went quick.
I know it does.
Why are we only doing an hour?
Because I need to recover my voice. I spoke to Blake for an hour and a half last week, and I couldn't use my voice for 3 or 4 days afterwards.
And I have to put my rollers in.
That's right. So make sure you check out the channel, Emma and Ellie's mum. Apologies.
Yes, I think so.
We do a weekly podcast. We're going to do a weekly accountability thing. So basically, this is where you can jump in. Oh, we got another one. Hang on, wait a second.
We've got another 2
special
people
guest.
in.
Yeah,
people want you to stay on.
Maybe we should be starting. Maybe you should be starting this thing. Oh, hey, John.
Now I know. Hello.
There's some royalty in.
Now I know who Emma Ellie is because she was the one on that American live stream that I went on. And she was the one that asked what pluggers were.
Oh, okay.
What's going on here? I didn't even know you were doing this. I just looked at I was just looking at Instagram and I saw your stories, Octopus.
Oh, goodness me.
I know.
What the hell?
I don't know. We're just mixing it up, Wayner.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
We chose the day. We chose the day that you haven't claimed yet. But apparently, we've moved in on Drew's territory.
So the idea is once you appear on screen, Uncle Wayno, is that you have to tell Octo what you are going to achieve for the next week. I'm going to write it down, and then you are going to report back to us this time next week and tell us what you did.
See, Wayno's the most accountable person I know. Like,
I can tell you right now, I will definitely achieve it.
Yes, I'm writing it down.
Yeah, well, that's as far as you've got to go, Leanne.
Wayno's the most self-aware man I know.
For the next week, I'll be laying on the couch watching movies.
Oh,
how is the movie channel going? What's next week's movie?
You're having a break, aren't you?
Yeah, Buddy couldn't do a couple of weeks in a row, so we're coming back on Jeff's birthday.
Oh, I'll have to keep after that. Yeah, because I tuned in to watch it on Monday night. I didn't catch that it wasn't on.
Yeah, no, it's my choice to pick a movie, and I haven't picked yet. So I've got to figure that out. Come in.
Someone's at the door.
I was going to say you got to visit.
It's next week's victim.
Here we go. Helo's World is going to do 6 listings a day.
What, did I even say what I was going to do? Did I manage to do that at the start? No. I'll just throw myself in it there.
Yeah.
So I've already got them all scheduled out, so it doesn't really matter. But I've got 30 listings a day I'm going to be doing, and also another wholesale order from overseas. So
right.
Very nice.
Throw that down just to see if I'm actually going to do it. But yeah, I think I will.
That was my wholesale order that just arrived then. So
yeah,
talk about perfect timing.
There you go.
So
Yeah,
what have
so-
you? What's coming in your wholesale order, Blake?
A heap of Carhartt pants and stuff like that
Right.
overseas,
okay.
so it should be okay. Yeah, I like
Good
Carhartt.
stuff. Oh well, it's great, isn't it?
Yeah, sounds well.
I've only picked up one pair of Carhartt pants in the wild, and they were brand new with tags.
Geez, that's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I think
I've
this
only-
is. There you go.
I was going to say, I've only come across one Patagonia and one Carhartt.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
can
like-
I recap what everyone's doing? Matilda wants to know. So far, John, have you told me what you want to do by next week?
Just get a haircut.
Specific goal, please.
I want to put out a video every day. That's really all I'm trying to go for. That's the
Right.
because the listing stuff's pretty consistent, the packing stuff's pretty consistent. I do want to put out a video a day. So essentially, I'm giving myself a pass on the live stream day. So essentially Tuesday, Thursday. If the live stream is the video, that's the video. But I want to put out a video every other day as well, because I have enough to cut up. I think I was telling Granny, every live stream I can cut up between 10 to 14 videos. So I have no excuse for lack of content. I just got to get myself to sit down and edit it. Because I'm realizing that I don't enjoy editing as much as but if you have a story in your head, you have to use the tools to make the story a thing. So therefore,
exactly.
That's going to be the
Did you notice we had Fran Fines in there too? Octo?
No, I didn't see it. Oh, apologies. Hi,
Yes.
Fran Fines. How are you?
You did click
So
on
is
that.
Is there anybody else that would like
His eyes
to
are painted on
report?
Wayno.
I was going to ask how you go and read in the chat.
Very difficult.
I'm just going back and checking if anyone else told me what they wanted to do.
How old's the video that you did, Wayno, with your different camera angles? That was a couple of months ago, was it?
Yeah, I could have done it way better, but I was just lazy. I just did 3. And,
Is that your DVD one?
I don't even know. I can't
think it
remember.
was-
It was pretty much taking
Yeah.
the piss out of like everyone that does multiple angles for the one shot.
Yeah, I think
It was funny.
it's hilarious. You watch YouTubers drive away in their car, and they're going to come back to pick up their camera.
Yeah, I watched
Yeah.
one the other day. They had the camera on the other side of the street, walking all the way down the street, down there, with doing all that stuff. I'm like, you're dumb. You're gonna have to go all the way back, grab your camera, take it with you again.
Yeah.
It's just it makes no sense.
That's
Yeah.
why you have a offsider, Blake, just to to run after the car.
Yeah.
You don't have to turn around back then. You just swing the door open and hope they jump in.
I was waiting
Now,
for
is there-
someone steals their phone.
Just before we, everyone keeps talking, but is there anyone else that would like to give me their goals for the week so I can write them down and then I'll give a recap? So talk now while people are
Or forever
deciding.
hold your peace until next week.
Yeah, John was saying he wants to get a video out every day.
Yeah.
I struggle to get one out every year at the moment.
I think you need to go visit Judder again, Wayno.
Yeah, editing's a pain in the ass.
Yep.
Oh, hi, James.
I mean, it's not too painful, but it's more getting started, because once you get started, you get lost in that process. I get lost in that process. I
Yeah.
generally get lost in any process I start, but it's the case of getting there, sitting down, and doing it. And I also get bored. So essentially, like on Tuesday, if I've sat at that chair for 5 hours doing a live stream, on Wednesday, I don't want to be at that space anymore. But it's
Yeah.
like, all right, I'm going to sit there and be in that space. If that's making So
Yeah. So what I do is I plan for Thursdays because we do the podcast.
Yep.
And I already would have my hair rollers in, etc. It's just easy for me to do my recording and stuff then so I don't have to do it again another day. And so, Thursday is my actual video day. And just trying to make the content so I've got some stuff to then go along. So, I mean, you've basically got most of your content because you're getting it from the live streams. So that's one advantage, John.
and then just adding like the cuts, any dot points on the screen.
Yeah.
I also watch a bunch of other guys. So for example, I remember there was one night we did a comping thing. Somebody didn't know how to comp an item without any comps, and we talked about how we go about doing that. And then Judder's video came out literally the next day with the auction lot, and he mentioned something about how he comps those footy mirrors. And I said to Judder, can I clip that into the video so you've got two perspectives in the same video? So really, it's also like that. So getting those clips and putting it together so that people get a more rounded opinion. Yeah.
It's a smart way to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can,
James?
I mean, I guess it depends on how you want to do it, whether you do a shorter period of time each day and edit one video every day and launch it for the next day, or whether you put aside, a several hours bracket and sit there and do your week's worth of videos. Because the one, I guess. And the one thing, when you work out, say if you're going to have text on the screen or whatever, just get that one and stick to it. Like use the same one over and over again, because I find people like that consistency, that's what you're using.
Yep.
And it doesn't have to have all the bells and whistles. Like I do stupid things only because I like to do it. It's fun.
Well, I like doing silly things too. So I think I think that's also the self-restraint. It's, if you can really make a video super fancy, super edited if you wanted to. And I think that's really I think that's the undertone of a lot of the complaints with social media resellers. It's like, if you're spending, everybody knows you're spending all this time, what happens at the actual business side of things?
Yeah.
So I think from a branding consistency point of view, you kind of can't over edit as well, because that kind of goes against you past a certain point. So especially if you're pumping up videos every single day, yes, you're editing stuff that's already been recorded, but you're still putting in the time. And everybody kind of has an idea of, if you're spending an hour every video and it's 5 videos a day and you're supposed to do 50 hours a week as a reseller anyways, is it now 60 hours? Does that make, when do you sleep? And Chris Furlong, right? He goes like, when do you sleep?
Yeah.
I just can't be bothered when it comes to polishing my videos, that's for sure. But even just adding things in, like I pick up a movie, when I'm thrifting, I'm like, I'll think while I'm editing, oh man, I could add like a little 5-second clip from that movie that's really funny.
Yeah.
It'll work really well. And then straight away, my brain just goes, nah, I can't be fucked.
Yeah. If you haven't worked out, Wayno and I are the same person.
And I've got the opposite problem, Wayno, because I think of that and I think I'm going to do that. And so then I go off on the tangent of going to do that extra bit. So, yeah.
Takes too long. It just makes it take too long.
Yeah, it does. And I need to cut a little bit of that back. I need to pull that back a little bit, but yeah.
You get
absorbed. Lives are great because you just hit live, and then when you hit end, you're done. There's no editing.
Yeah, that's right. No, I think we better start wrapping it up, Granny. We're desperately over time. We'll have to do my hair.
All right, so my list is Matilda is going to do 10 items. Have 10 items ready for the live tonight, and she's going to have 50 items listed by next week. And Wayno's going to do nothing. And Hero's World is going to do Hero's World is going to do 6 listings a day. Blake is going to do 30 a day and do a wholesale order from overseas. So we look forward to hearing about that. And John is going to do a video every day.
That's right.
Oh, James is wanting to know where Figsy is, Octo.
Hang on.
I was just
swap the name around.
Yeah.
Get rid of the mohawk.
Yeah.
Recommerce Dave is with Wayno, wants to do nothing.
Yeah. I actually did 16 listings this morning, so
woohoo!
I don't know how. They were just like $10 DVDs. It took me like 20 minutes. It's not really doesn't really count.
That was our pleasure, Hilo, and we'll hope to see you next week. We'll be back at the same time. So
same time, same channel.
Continue exploiting your employer and doing listings when you should be working.
Yes.
And if you want to join a nighttime live stream, come and join us tonight at 9:30 Melbourne time, AEST.
You have to talk American to them, mate. You have to call it Melby.
Melby.
I'm from Melbourne. I'll very quickly say.
There we go. Just started another 30-minute conversation.
No. I'll do it really quick. On one of John's live streams, I gave him some names to say of local places around here. And he had this terrible habit of putting an E on the end, even though it had an E on the end of each name, but he would pronounce it. So instead of Lake Warranook, it was Lake Warranookie.
Oh, yeah.
And he just did it all the time. Yeah. All right.
There you go.
Let's go.
All right. But thank you, everyone, for coming. We'll be here back next week, unless you tell us an alternative time that you would like.
Yeah.
Our preference is to keep it on Thursday, obviously, that Granny and I film our podcast on Thursday. So we'll see you again next week. Thank you very much. Thanks, everyone, for our roundtable discussion. We'll see you all next time.
I'm too far from
There you
that.
Cheerio.
Bye.
Oh, no, I think
Oh,
we're
what?
good. Oh, hang on,
Let's
we're
do
still
a Chris
there.
Fairlong. Start recording.
Yeah, are we still recording? I've ended the broadcast.